I'm pleased to give you this information about our NGO. Our NGO is Center for Science and Technology, and the major goal of our NGO is to popularize the applications of scientific technology among the farmers and local community. At present, in India, there are around 20 lakh NGOs, and we have founded another NGO. This NGO is recently, this NGO is a very new. It is 1 year old, and you might be wondering why there is a need of another NGO. So, let me answer that question. So in India, there are around 20 lakh NGOs, but most of the NGOs they are doing some kind of charitable work or social work. There are very few NGOs which are engaged in some kind of scientific or technology based work, and our NGO is one of those which is using science and technology to solve the social problems, mainly the farming community, that is agriculture problems and the medicine problems. Our NGO is involved in many kinds of activities, many kind of social work. The first activity we are currently and actively doing is we are carrying out tissue culture training program for rural youth, women and farmers. So, at the tissue culture, I would like to briefly describe about the tissue culture. The tissue culture is nothing but it is vegetative propagation. So, in tissue culture, what happens is if there is a good plant, uh, the prototype, the clone of the same plant can be made, and such thousands, millions of clones can be prepared. So what happens is if there is a very good productive plant, if we make a clone of it, so there will be 1,000 plants which are very good, equally productive. So farmers will get a good benefit. So if there is a no tissue culture, what happens is one plant is good, other is not that good, or one plant is having 100 fruits and other plant is having just one or two fruits. So that kind of imbalance or waste is prevented by tissue culture. So this kind of activity we are carrying out for rural people, specifically women, youth, and farmers. So here we are giving them training. We are providing know-how technology. We are also giving hands-on training to these people so that these people can use this technology. Some of them can become entrepreneur, or some of them can use this tissue culture plants in their uh, own farms.
Here in this video, you will see a standard tissue culture protocol. Here the technician is preparing the laminar airflow. Here he opens the laminar airflow. Then he swipes the laminar airflow with 70% alcohol, and after wiping all the surfaces of the laminar airflow, he also cleans the utensils, the tools required for the tissue culture. Then he turns on the UV light. The UV light is used to sterilize the environment, the air and the surfaces by killing the bacteria, and then he will close the door and he will bring the lab supplies. The lab supplies he brings for the tissue culture includes tissue culture media, plant materials, that is explant or the tissue culture plants which are to be subcultured. Now he arranges the material in a proper manner so that he can, when the operation is taking place, he can perform the activity easily. Now he sterilizes the scalpel and the surgical blade. Here he opens up the media from a sterile autoclaved wrap. This sterile autoclaved wrap contains a media which is free of all contamination. Then he here he is taking out the regenerated plantlets from the tissue culture bottles which were grown for few weeks before, and these plantlets are ready to be subcultured. The good and healthy looking plantlets are transferred to new bottle containing fresh media and sterile media. The browning or infected parts are removed eventually, and the fresh looking plants are cultured. The subculturing plays a key role in tissue culture. That in subculture, a plant can be regenerated or multiplied. That is, multiplication takes place from a single X plant. Tens of thousands of plants can be prepared. So that is the whole purpose of tissue culture.
The next activity we are currently doing is again in agriculture field. In agriculture, we are working in bioagent production popularization. Especially currently, there you might have heard of a concept called organic farming and chemical farming. In organic farming, what people do is they do not use any chemicals, and whatever is natural product, they it comes very little, but that product is good. It is devoid of any toxic chemicals. So what we are doing is we are promoting kind of organic farming. So where there are several bioagents. Among these bioagents, there are two major categories. One is biopesticide and other is biofertilizer. So in biopesticides, what happens is there are microbes. These microbes, they kill other insects or other microorganisms, the harmful microorganisms or harmful insects. So these microbes, if we kill them using another microorganism, there is no need of using chemicals. These chemicals are very toxic. They come in the food cycle, and they cause several diseases in human beings. And the other thing is they increase the cost of cultivation for farmers. In bioagent production, another concept is use of biofertilizers. So what happens is today we are using a lot of chemical fertilizers, for example urea or single superphosphate. All these chemicals, these fertilizers, because of their uses, the land gets degraded, and it becomes barren after some time. So and another option to that is use of biofertilizer, and some of the biofertilizers include azolla production, PSB, phosphate solubilizing bacteria. There are several such examples. So we have conducted one workshop on azolla production, and we have given training to the rural people about usage of azolla production. In next event, our NGO has done a health checkup camp at high school students. This health checkup camp is conducted at Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Basmat Nagar. This camp was conducted by an expert team of doctors led by Center for Science and Technology. In this checkup camp, the doctors has inspected the health status of several students, girls and boys, and the doctors has advised them a standard set of practices to keep a healthy body and stay healthy during school years as well as other times. And also during this time, the doctor had a the doctor's team had discussion with students, and they answered many questions raised by students about adolescent body and to prevent communicable diseases in hostel life. Next event the Center for Science and Technology has conducted is about popularization of science education among college students and high school students. So here, what we have done is I myself has given a series of lectures to students about opportunities in science, specifically in agriculture, biotechnology, and technological education, engineering education, to uh, at three different colleges. These three different colleges are from Marathwada region and in western Maharashtra, that is Solapur and Latur and Parbani. What next for our NGO? So our NGO is planning to conduct a separate or a set of new activities in the next year or in 6 months. So the first activity we are planning to do is we are establishing an IT classroom, that is information technology classroom, in Pune. That IT classroom will be established in association with MKCL, that is Maharashtra Knowledge Corporation Limited. The Maharashtra Knowledge Corporation Limited has agreed to provide all the essential materials, including the software and all the technology. What we are going to do is we are going to provide the basic infrastructure, computing facility, and staff to conduct the classes. The next activity we are going to do is we are establishing an e-library, that is electronic library. This library will be accessible by the local community. It will be based on, it will be available through the PCs. The next thing we are planning to do, this is actually our long-term goal, that is to popularize or to develop low-cost technology. Today, you can take an example of agriculture or a medicine. So there are a lot of technologies which are developed by our research institutes, universities, but these technologies have not reached the ground level, that is the community, or either it is a person or either it is a farmer. So to popularize this technology, there is one major stumbling block, that is this technology is not cheap, or this technology has not been advertised well, or has not been explained well. Its benefits are not explained well. So our aim is to reduce the cost, increase the benefits, and popularize that technology so that maximum number of people, common person or farmer, can use it. For example, if you see today a common man he he is willing to stay sick. If he gets an illness, he remains sick for 2 years until it becomes unbearable, and then he goes to hospital and then he does the checkup. The main reason he doesn't want to go to hospital is the cost. If we reduce the cost of the technology, people will remain healthy and the productivity of our nation will go up. So that is our long term goal. And the next thing in our mind is biodiversity preservation. So the biodiversity preservation is very important. We are in Pune. Pune is situated in Western Ghats. Western Ghats is one of the richest uh, richest area for biodiversity. It is among the 8 hotspots in the world for biodiversity rich area. So our next goal is to include the local community. For example, Bhimashankar and or several places in this Western Ghat region, and the local tribes, and include them in this program. Also create some awareness program among the visitors, pilgrims who goes to such temples, or just for looking like for scenic views and all that. So that is our next, this set of activities, our next set of goals. So far, our NGO has conducted several activities that includes training to farmers, training to rural youth, women, then lecture series to college students, high school students, health checkup camp. Among these activities, I personally have interacted with all the audiences, and the audience is very excited about the future of our NGO. They believe that our NGO will make change or bring change to their lives or the lives of the uh, community members, whether it is agriculture or whether it is medicine. Hello, I'm Ullas Kadam. I am the founder of Center for Science and Technology. I have completed my PhD from Purdue University in 2014, and after completing my PhD, I returned to India with the goal of starting an NGO, and I started it a year back. And this NGO, the major goal of this NGO was to use or popularize science and technology among local community members and farmers. We I also have a team in this NGO. So our team has decided to focus on popularization of technology, specifically in agriculture and medicine.